Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to get a Dahlia inspired, purple Dahlia inspired look. I was very inspired by a lot of the beautiful dahlias in my mother's garden. This is a bit dry, but she has more beautiful outside, and it has a bit of purplish, black, reddish colors. So that's what I'm going to be inspired by today.
I start with a red lip liner. Winging out that eyeliner. Domenika.
To start off, I used a bit of color refresh to get my purple color on. I used this one, Vivid Violet by Nila, to go straight into eyeshadow and eyeshadow primer because purplish shade tends to fall down a bit. I'm using the Smashbox Photo Finish Eyeshadow 24 Hour. Tilbury Vintage Vamp and a Tilbury blending brush. I'm going to take the enhanced shade, apply it to my crease. Fingers are also very good to blend with, and you can also have a clean brush for blending. I'm going back and forth like a windscreen wiper. These shades also tend to make me look a bit paler, but I don't mind that. I'm naturally quite pale. Now I'm going to go in with the same shade underneath. And I'm using this brush from Millie Macintosh. I think this came with an eyeshadow palette. I'm dotting a bit on the back of my hand. I'm going underneath the eye. I'm blending it up into the other eyeshadow. I'm blending it with a bigger, fluffier brush from the other side. So I want to know, do any of you have dahlias in your garden? It's a very beautiful flower. It comes in a lot of varieties. To intensify, I'm going to go in with a darker color. Mostly on the outer corner and in a V shape. Now I'm going into the lighter color, just underneath the brow, and to just blend it a bit. It is a highlight, but also to blend it into the brow. This is quite a metallic shade, so you can use a more muted shade, even a matte if you want. Had a bit of fallout, not much. I'm just going to take some tissue paper. I'm just trying to wipe it a bit away. You can also use tissue paper while you apply on the eye. Just put it underneath and just blend. With this I'm shaping the eyeshadow a bit more and winging it out. And now I'm just blending the edges. Now I'm going to do eyeliner. Now I'm going to use this shade from Chanel. This is the Illusion on d'Ombre in Rouge Noir. And for that I'm going to use the brush that came with it. Very practical for on the go. Just going to dip it in. And you have to be a bit careful with this because they tend to break and they also tend to fall out, but they give a beautiful effect on the eye. Eyeliner can be a bit tricky. I like to do it with my eyes open. Kind of push it into the lashes. It can be an idea to use a magnifying mirror. Now I'm going into the other eye. Now I'm just intensifying it. And these colors look beautiful on blue eyes and green eyes. They have this reddish undertone. I'm going to go into the lightest shade. Adding a bit to the eyelid too, above the eyeliner. Just adding a bit of the original color to blend that in. And the same on the other eye. I'm going into the eyeliner again. Just swinging it out. Just going over the eyeliner, making sure it's still intense. The other eye. I'm going slightly less degrees, more outward, not that much upwards. Following the eyeshadow shape. Going into the original color. Blending it together with the eyeliner. So there's not a gap between the eyeshadow and the eyeliner. I'm going to curl my lashes. And then apply Monsieur Big. I'm changing the mirror so I get it a bit more underneath the lashes. And it's important to try to get it into the roots. I'm pushing it a bit into the lashes. They're clumping up a bit, so I'm going to use a brush. On to the next eye. Such a good mascara. Now I think I'm going to go on to the foundation. When you're wearing purpley reddish tones, you tend to emphasize dark circles underneath the eyes, so you may want to use a bit more concealer or foundation than usual. Just going to wipe away a bit of eyeshadow fallout again. I'm going to use the Wonder Glow, and this I'm going to mainly concentrate on the high points. This gives a lovely glow. Apply with the nose, blending it down. on some non-makeup days, I like to just apply this to make me look a bit more fresher. And now I'm going to go into foundation. I'm going to use the Dior Backstage Face and Body. I have already put sunscreen on before I started the makeup. It's important to wear sunscreen every day. Applying a bit onto the back of my hand. I'm going to take my finger and dot it. Mainly concentrating on areas where I get red. I don't like to apply much on the nose because I think it's more visible there. And then just blending it out with a buffing brush. I actually think this is a blusher brush, but I'm not sure where it's from. Just an old brush I have. And I'm using a combination of patting and swirling. This is actually one of the first foundations that I tried which matches me. And I don't have to blend out with a mixing medium to make it more pale. I think perhaps I need a bit more. Ooh, purple air. If you get some of the color refresh onto your skin, like I have done here at my ear, very easy to get rid of it. Just take a cotton bud with some makeup remover. It can be micellar water, eye makeup remover, and you just wipe it away. I like to pat it a bit in with my fingers too. Now I'm going to apply a bit underneath my eyes. A bit of concealer. And it works quite well as a concealer too. Applying a bit onto my scar also. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to do that, if it makes it worse, but I don't think so. It's a bit pinkish. This is beautiful to apply onto the eye, under the eyes, to get away a bit of that darkness. I tend to get a bit blue underneath the eye. I'm also going to apply a little bit onto the sides of my nose, where I'm a bit red. Not much, because I feel if you apply too much on the nose, it's so much more visible that you wear makeup and foundation. And you want it to look natural, like it's your own skin. I think I want to do brows now. Now I'm going to use this Beauty Express for Brows and Eyes by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And for this look, I want to have a bit more darker brows than what I usually go for. So I'm usually using mostly the lightest shade in the palette. But now I'm going to go more into the darker shade. As you can see, it's a bit darker than my natural brows. Brushing them. This is by the Body Shop. And I'm brushing them in between to make them look more natural. Can you see the difference? I'm extending the brow a bit too. Is anyone looking forward to autumn? I quite like the Autumn. It has a lot of beautiful colors. This is much darker than my eyebrows usually are. But I think it suits this type of look. Now I'm going to set them in place with Brow Gel by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now I'm going to set underneath my eyes. I don't think I need any more coverage there. To set it, I'm going to use the Dior Nude Air Loose Powder. Loose powders can get a bit messy, especially for travel. So I would recommend using a more of a pressed powder, especially when you travel. I'm just going to take the puff and just take the powder off it with a Pat McGrath eyeshadow brush. Tap it. Make sure to smooth out any creases so that you don't set the creases. And go in and just blend that. I'm doing the same on the other eye. Just set. And I'm starting with patting and then smoothing it out. Now I'm going on to lips. For a look like this, you have different options. You can do a nude lip, which is fine. You can also do more of a berry lip, which also looks good. And if you're a bit scared of berry and want something different, you can use something like this from Clinique, which is in the color Black Honey. It's a bit like a lip balm. It looks very, very terrifying in the tube, but it's just like a lip balm. The hint of color. This gives a very natural berry shade. If you want something a bit like this but with a bit more punch, you can go for something like this by Lancôme. And this is just like a lipstick with a lot of shine in. You see it gives a bit more punch, a bit more color. That's beautiful and just give the same effect as a more full-on berry lip. But you can also go full-on and go matte or classic lipsticks. This is a few of my favorites. If you want a matte lipstick, you can use the Berry Noir by Lancôme in matte. This is also in a shine version. I can swatch it for you. It's a very lovely, rich berry color. You can also go for the Dramatic in Drama Matte by Lancôme, which is this one. This is a bit more brown in, but still very beautiful. And it's a bit more matte also. That also will work very beautiful with this eye. And of course you can use the lipstick that Charlotte recommends for her eyeshadow palette. Or you can go for something like I'm going to go for, which is by Chanel. And this is 470 Rouge Coco in color Martha, which I just love because my name is Martha. This is the shade I'm going to use. This has a bit more red in as opposed to the other two. And it's a bit lighter. And this is a classic lipstick formula with a bit of sheen. It's not a matte. And I'm going to start by lining the lips, which I think is very important when using dark colors like this. I'm going to use the Bone Girl. I don't have any darker shade. If I had something that was more of this shade, I would definitely use that, but I don't have it, so this is dark enough, I suppose. And this will help it so that it don't bleed out into fine lines and stuff. It makes it last longer. On its own, this would be a beautiful color to this eyeshadow. And I'm going to fill in the entire lip, so that when the lipstick fades, I still lift with a bit of color, and not that horrible line around the mouth. Now I'm gonna apply myself in a lipstick format. I don't think they named it after me, but I can pretend. Now I like to apply straight from the bullet. Ooh. This is almost the same color as the darkest dahlias in the sun. Those dark, almost black dahlias. When the sun shines, they get this kind of color, which is a beautiful color. It's not perhaps a color I would wear underneath a mask. Honestly, I don't wear lipstick at all when I'm wearing a mask. I'm just going to blot the inside so I don't get it on my teeth. I just like to go around the edges when I'm wearing dark lip. Just soften them. Now I think I'm going to go into the eyeshadow brush again and just soften underneath the eyes. To make sure that the underneath wasn't lost when I did the powdering and concealing. Now I'm going to go into blush. I'm going to use the Chanel Blush Camelia Rose, which was my favorite flower, so I think that's fitting. It has this very beautiful motif, and it's very natural because I don't like to have too much color when I have a lot going on my eyes and my lips. And I'm going to apply it with a Tilbury sculpt brush, swirling around, and just lightly apply it onto my cheeks, high up onto my cheeks. This just gives such a natural flush, and you can intensify it a bit more if you want. Use a bit of the darkest color, you're using a bit more of the lighter color. And this is the Jardin de Chanel blushes. Or blush, I don't know. I'm not sure if they make it anymore. Blush just makes me happy. Bit under the nose. It's important to use blush when you're using a look like this. Makes it a bit less washed out. Now I'm thinking I'm going to contour a bit. And for this I'm using the Tilbury Film Bronze and Glow. This is in the holiday packaging, but you can still get the same product inside with a different packaging. I'm just applying it underneath my cheekbones and stop around outside of my eye. And I blend it up. I just load this color because it's not too grey and it's not too warm. I'm also going to apply this underneath my chin. And I'm also going to apply a bit on the sides of my nose. Now I'm going to do a trick that I like a lot. I'm using the Clinique Chubby Stick Sculpting Highlight in number 1 Hefty Highlight. Taking it with my finger and applying it onto high point on my cheek. My nose. This is quite a beautiful highlight. I'm going to apply a bit of this into the inner corner too. And now I'm going to go back to the Film Bronze Glow and using the highlight shade and applying this on top. I just love to go in with a cream highlighter and then set it with a powder highlighter. I find it gives just such a beautiful, lovely glow. And I'm going to take pinky finger, apply a bit on top, in the corner. So that's the finished look. And I'm wearing earrings from my own collection. I've both designed this and made them by hand. So much fun to wear something you made yourself.
I started with a red lip liner. I started with a red lip liner, winging out that eyeliner.
Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.